Hey, welcome to the Bucket Discussion Pod. We about to get into it today again. First topic, prediction for the Bucks in the Hawks series. How y'all feeling about that?
I said we go ahead. I'm gonna give my nod to ATL, just because I like the confidence Trey play with. Even when he struggles, he still manages to get points on the board. Whether it's him or he throwing a dime, like I said last episode, he gonna get points on the board regardless of the fact of if it's his shot or someone else's. He a real team player. Um, I feel like he embodies uh, the meaning of a true point guard. Even when his shot's not falling, he getting the rock, he passing it. So I feel like Trey's gonna push them over the edge. Just because I seen a little bit of Milwaukee struggle last series with KD and them, even though they didn't play bad, but I seen a little bit of they struggle.
Yeah, bro, facts. I honestly might have to go with the Bucks though in this series, just because I don't see no one really stopping Giannis. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's gonna be a high scoring series though, just because, like you said, the way Trey Young's been playing, and we got to keep in mind, man, the Hawks they got shooters everywhere. Like they got Bogdanovich out there, and I feel like Lou Williams was the perfect addition for the Hawks over the before the trade deadline, just because he provides like that spark off the bench, like he does with every team he goes to. But the way he could score the ball just come into a game and just automatically light the floor up off the bench is a big plus for the Hawks. But like you said, bro, it's going to be a good series. I feel like between these two, but I'm gonna have to give my nod to the Bucks just because they have Giannis.
Man, so a real interesting series for real, man. Giannis, the Bucks. Please do not take the Hawks lightly because I've been disrespecting them since the first round, and they've been proving me wrong and shutting me up. So I feel like Giannis and the Bucks got to take him serious, and if they do that, I think they could get out this series in 5 or 6. It's gonna be a real interesting one. We're gonna see what happens.
5.
Shout out Trey Young, Ice Trey.
5.
Wow.
Damn.
But no, next
Yes,
up
sir.
though, the Suns and the Clippers. The first 2 games, absolutely nuts. Usually when it's a good game like that, game 1, you can't follow it up with another one.
Yeah.
But game 2 was just as crazy as game 1. So how y'all feeling about that series in the first 2 games?
So we can pop it off the second game, which is the most recent game. Crazy game from start to finish. It was a real tight game for the most part. You kind of got to see DeAndre Ayton he had a little period of time where he had a kind of like a takeover, so to speak. I just kept hearing Ayton, Ayton, Ayton. I was listening to it. I was like, man, he's scoring again. But he had a little period of time, and then the big star in this game, of course, C-Payne, Cameron Artis-Payne, he did his thing. Shooter, getting to the rack with that high floater, high floating layup, whatever you want to call it. Um, and then you have Book, of course, who did catch the nose. I don't know what's wrong with his nose. It may be broke, but he caught the nosebleed from Pat Bev. All in all, I think they didn't for a Suns game. I was listening to Monty Williams interview. The Suns game, he said they didn't play good, which I agree. They didn't shoot very well. They didn't play to their potential, but I think from both team standpoint, even with the Clippers not having Kawhi, they still came up. They showed up. Even though I do feel like at certain periods of game, I was like, damn, where PG at? But for the most part, we have PG missing the 2 clutch free throws. But I think even with that, the Clippers still have a lot to take home. Even with them playing bad as well, they were still in the game. They had a chance of stealing the game. They just didn't close it out. So I think that's a plus for the Clippers to take home. But for the Suns, hey, you got away with one. You closed it out. You gave DeAndre Ayton the confidence. You give Jay Crowder. I don't even think he needed any more confidence, but he has it. Um, I think you gave the whole team confidence when it went like that. A real gritty game. Came to the end, a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of talking. I like those kind of chippy games. So I think it was a good game, but um, Suns up 2-0. We're gonna see what happens next.
Yeah, bro. I mean, obviously, as a Clippers fan, I'm fucking disappointed. But honestly, I'm not too disappointed with our fight in those games because obviously we could have shot the ball better in game one, or I mean game two. Uh, but I mean, these last two games we lost. We lost by a combined total of 9 points, and that's the same amount of points we lost those first two games in Utah. So I think we still have a chance, but the only problem is we're down 2-0. Yes, we're headed home. That's cool and all, but the problem is we got CP3 coming back tomorrow night, and on top of all that confidence, like you just mentioned, Trey, uh, on top of all that confidence, bro, they have one of the best point guards in the league coming back. So on top of that, it's just going to be really hard for the Clippers to get through this. And I just seen that Kawhi Leonard's probably he's out for tomorrow's game, which kind of sucks. But this is going to be really tough for the Clippers to get out of this two-hole deficit, just because it's completely different from the last two they was in. Because Dallas, young team that's unexperienced, that just doesn't have that much talent. It's just that straight. It's just that simple with that team. The Utah Jazz, they're good. They were the number one seed in the league. They had a top 5 defense. They had a top 5 offense. They're not mentally there yet, and that's kind of what I got from last year's playoffs with them after they blew the 3-1 lead just like we did. But yeah, they just don't got the mental aspect of the game, I think, yet. But once Donovan Mitchell gets to that point, that's a different situation. But like I was saying, bro, it's just a different series with this one from those last two, because this team, the Suns, they just work so well together as a collective group, even without Chris Paul, like we've seen these previous two games. And that's what's scary about this team, because when Chris Paul does come back, it's going to be hard to keep those games close. You know what I'm saying? Especially without Kawhi.
So as a Lakers fan, I feel like you have no reason to panic. Y'all down 0-2. Like I said, a series doesn't really start until somebody wins a game on the road.
Yeah.
All the Suns did was win 2 games at home. That's what they're supposed to do. And y'all were in each and every one of those games, so it's really nothing to panic about. I feel like y'all go home, y'all win these next 2, and then play it out from there. But I really don't feel like there's no reason to panic. I watched my Lakers get 2 games off of them, and they were up 2-1. We're not going to get into all that happened, but I just want to let you know that they're beatable. But I just feel like this is going to be a real close series, and this has been very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really playoff basketball. Each team is playing hard. No team's giving up. Pat Bev, Marcus Morris, he played and he was hurt. PG, I know you had a little mental lapse, but it happens to the best of them. So
Mm-hmm.
not going to kill him for it, but they've been playing very well. There's really no reason to panic, bro. Like, y'all been in each and every one of these games. Ty Lue, Monty Williams, like I said on the last episode, it's a chess match. From them 2 sidelines, we're going to see who makes the most adjustments, who makes the best adjustments. And I really don't feel like the Suns can play any better. But I feel like the Clippers can up their game for sure. I know you're nervous about PG, or not PG, but CP3 coming back. And I understand that because he's a whole different animal. But the Lakers are up 2-1 with CP3. So I don't really think you should be worried about it. So
no, you're right, bro.
But I think here's the worry with that. Because, when they played y'all, it was still kind of early in the playoffs. So now you get deeper in the playoffs. You kind of get that confidence. You get that. I don't say you gain a lot of experience, but you get that experience as a team. Like, okay, we did this last series. We got to lock in. This is the point last series where we were kind of like fell off and let them get back into this. And plus, when you got a player like CP coming back, you already made a solid run on your own without CP. So with him coming back to the energy that y'all bringing and y'all coming on the road, I feel like CP got his comeback. I feel like there may be a little chip on CP's shoulder dealing with the NBA for him getting in the protocol when LeBron didn't. Maybe a little chip on his shoulder. And let's be real. Last series, CP was nothing to play with. they was running a well-oiled machine. Everybody was shooting the ball, and I felt like during the last game they had, there was a lot of times I was like, okay, if CP would have been here, it was kind of like a stinky offensive like sequence. It was like turnover, bad shot. It was just like little stuff like that. You're like, okay, if CP's here, this is not happening, because CP, he has a way of slowing the game down, getting to that old man ball. We're gonna run and pick and roll. We're gonna get bro the ball. Right now, we don't need a rush. I seen a lot of that just because maybe it's because of the younger group of guys, and CP brings that old head experience to the game. But I ain't gonna lie, I'd be a little bit nervous for real. With CP coming back and the confidence they got right now, I'd be a little bit nervous.
And another thing is CP3's not coming back from an injury, bro. He's coming back from protocol. So he's really just been kind of resting. But just to see like Devin Booker exert himself to try to play his role and kind of CP3's role, and then Cameron Payne kind of helping him out with that too. I feel like those two guys, they didn't play their. Hopefully, I'm not jinxing it, but I feel like they didn't play their best basketball that they can. 40-point triple-double, first game. I feel like there's really not too much that they can do to get better. But the Clippers, I feel like they've been playing off and on. Like you said, they kind of rely on their talent a little bit too much. I feel like they've been kind of off and on. But we really haven't seen that game, that crazy game, like that just made you say, wow, like PG, you haven't really seen him go too crazy. Reggie Jackson, like it was last series, you haven't really seen that either. So when they all click and have their best game, I want to see what that looks like for the Suns. So
fact, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but next segue, we've been having a lot of these sports talking heads, these analysts like Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Cal Hurd, just all these guys, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, they've been kind of talking crazy. Nick Wright doing what they do. It really doesn't surprise me anymore. But we had Stephen A. recently just come out and say that Devin Booker is the next Kobe Bean Bryant. I feel like these comparisons are hurting young players, but what's your thoughts on that?
When I first saw it, I was like, I don't know if Stephen A is getting paid to say goofy stuff, because this last 2 weeks, I just been getting on social media like, Stephen A, what are you talking about? Stop it. Like, he was talking about the net series, talking about it was karma that lost him the series. I'm like, what karma? It was all based off injuries. Let's keep it a buck. It wasn't no karma involved. It's just injuries. Players get injured. It happens. But I think this was I'm not gonna say it was a terrible, because there are things in each other's game, things in Book's game that resemble Kobe, and as you would see him say, like, they have the pictures with Kobe that they share on it along with that post. There are a lot of resemblances in their game, but to say Devin Booker is the next Kobe, I feel like, I'm not gonna say it's a stretch, but at the end of the day, it's a stretch, because he just let him play ball. Because when you start putting them kind of like put people not in a box, but like kind of put that label on people, they're like, damn, I didn't perform like this, I didn't perform like that. So they kind of get into their own head, which I don't see happening with Book, because he seems like a mentally strong person and not too into the social media. And I wouldn't take it as a player. I wouldn't take what Stephen A says too serious either. But I do think that was a rather goofy comparison. Like, stop it. Let Book hoop. He's doing his thing. Let him get through the playoffs. Whatever happen. But let's not compare him to Kobe. Stop it. Not off one playoff series. And let's add to this. Wasn't he the one that said he was the Donovan Mitchell was the greatest Utah Jazz player in team history? Stop it. That's what I feel like. I think he's getting paid. I'm just leaving it at that. He's saying some very goofy stuff, and I think he's getting paid for it. So get your money, Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, bro. To me personally, I just feel like they're just trying to get views, or he is getting paid. I mean, it's one or the other, or just both. Like, they're just trying to accumulate more people to their videos and stuff, which, I mean, it's understandable. But at the same time, you can't just sit here and lie to yourself and lie to all your viewers, because first of all, it's not even just about their game or his game and how it resembles Kobe's just a little bit. It's like you're just taking away from how great Devin Booker is. You know what I'm saying? Devin Booker isn't trying to be anyone else but Devin Booker. Like, he's trying to leave that name on the league for the next generations to come. He's not sitting here trying to be like someone else. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to just do his own thing, come out here, play his own game, and be great in his own way. People need to stop trying to take away from the young players and just let them be themselves. Like you said, Trey, I feel like it puts a lot more, like a bigger pedestal on these players, just because they feel like they have to live up to that expectation. You know what I'm saying? That's why I do like players that tend to stay out of social media, because they don't let that kind of stuff go to their head. You know what I'm saying? what these reporters and shit are saying. Because half the time when they're saying something like that, it's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, Stephen A. coming out saying Karl Malone or Donovan Mitchell is the best Utah Jazz player, even though they had Karl Malone, John Stockton, which I know they didn't win a championship there, but look how far they got in the playoffs. They got to the finals. I'm pretty sure John Stockton leads the whole NBA in assists to this day, and that's probably going to be one of the most unbreakable records. So you need to keep stuff like that in mind when you're saying stuff like that. Because to me, it's just disrespectful. That's pretty much all I got to say on it.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate what you just, because I feel like you're really putting players in a box, and that's frustrating to watch because it's like, let these players make their own names. I feel like it happens to all the great players when they come into the league. It's like either LeBron or Michael Jordan. And I see a lot of people, even before the tragedy happened with Kobe, I've seen a lot of people trying to discredit his career because they're like, he's trying to be Michael Jordan. And it's like, I think Kobe in his mindset was that this is the greatest player in the league, so I'm going to aim for that. I don't think he was trying to be a knockoff Michael Jordan or nothing like that. I feel like he was just trying to be like, this is the best player, I'm going to aim for that. But at the end of the day, he's Kobe Bryant. So Trae Young, Luka Doncic, any other great player in the league, Donovan Mitchell, let them be themselves. Let them grow into the player that they're going to be. Don't put them in a box by saying, oh, he's the next this or he's the next that. That's frustrating when I hear that because it's like, come on, man, let them play. But like you said, it's about ratings at the end of the day. So I don't want to be too mad at the media. It's about ratings, and they want people to click on their show. So like when Stephen A. says, oh, this player is this, people going to be like, that's crazy. So they're going to click on it and they're going to watch the show. That's what I'm starting to learn. That's what the media does. So I'm not going to be too mad about it, but just take it with a grain of salt. Let players play. Let Devin Booker make his own name, like you said, in the playoffs. He's been balling, 40 points, triple doubles. He even showed a different part of his game that we didn't even see. Like he had 12 assists. I didn't know Devin Booker could pass like that. So just let him be his own player and stop trying to put players in boxes because that's frustrating. But the next topic, the NBA is finally addressing this issue that a lot of people have been complaining about, but I'm gonna call it the D Wade and the James Harden foul because those are players I've seen that started doing it like first and mastering it. So, how do y'all feel about that? Because just in case y'all don't know what the foul is, I'm sure you know what it is. But when players just pump fake, or they jump into a player, or they stop and they let a player run into them, or a player's arms out. Like I seen a play like this in the game yesterday. PG was guarding D Book and he had his arm out like this, and man, Book just jumped right into his arm. I'm like, damn, but that's crazy. Like it's cool when it's like your favorite player doing it, but when it's against you, it's frustrating. So how do y'all feel about that? The NBA addressing that rule finally.
I feel like as a person who I watched a lot of shooters, like just growing up watching basketball, I watch a lot of shooters, whether it was my time or the previous time. And I want to speak on Reggie Miller because Reggie Miller had like this, like after he shot, he would kind of slap his wrist and refs would hear that and they would call the foul based off. And Reggie would do a lot of kicking the foot out too. So when stuff like that happens, it's been around forever. So it's like you make a rule, players adjust, they exploit the next set of rules that you have. So I feel like at the end of the day, you're gonna keep implementing rules to kind of switch up how players are playing, which I think this is a pretty good set of rules because we do see a lot of plays, especially with James Harden and playing against him. A lot of frustration as a fan. Is like, bro, he's not even getting touched. Like you see him just flail, he'll jump up, the step back, all that type of stuff is just kind of an irritant for me watching the game because you know good and well these are not calls that are being called. And if you do that, jump into a player, or you're not like they're forcing the shot motion. No one shoots like this. But that play with Book and PG, I think that is a relatively smart play when you just kind of like get your little rip through. I don't think that's a rule that is necessarily subject to change because I just think you have to play smarter defense. When you play defense like this, people's going to take advantage of that arm that's out there. But I think players will find a way to exploit the next set of rules. So at the end of the day, the changes are good for now. But when they find the next loophole, players will start doing it again. So it's cool.
Yeah, bro, I kind of gotta disagree with you on that because I know you're saying that like they might exploit that or like that shot fake. To me personally, I just hate it just because half the time they're not even actually trying to shoot. They just see that their arm's there and they're like, oh, okay, so maybe if I get up quick enough, maybe I make contact with his arm, maybe I can go to the line and get some free throws. To me personally, that's a little bit cheap. But I mean, like you said, players are going to find a way to exploit rules like that. So the NBA just has to do a better job of I mean, keep an eye out for shit like that. But the biggest problem for that, the rip through for me, is not just that it sends the opposite player to the line and potentially get some free throws. It to me, it just pisses me off because it slows down the game. You know what I'm saying? Slows down the momentum, especially like a game yesterday where uh, or game one, I mean, where PG and D Book were going back and forth for a little bit, and then the refs call some bullshit like that. It just really irritates me because it just stops the flow of the game. It makes the game longer, and those games already last like 2 hours, and they start them at like fucking 9 p.m. for some reason. So it's just extra time wasted, and to me, it's just bullshit. That's all I got to say about that, man.
Man, so I'm kind of excited to hear this news that the NBA is finally addressing it because I feel like that's the first step to. I'm not gonna say it's like a big issue, but it's the first step to kind of solving it because like this has always been something that's a part of the game that's been frustrating for a lot of fans. So I feel like it's the first step in addressing it, and I really appreciate that from the league. I don't think they're gonna completely get rid of it because I don't think it's possible because players are smart and they know how to manipulate the referees to make it look like a player hit him or a player jumped into him or something like that. But I feel like just getting rid of the clear and obvious ones, like a player jumping into another player and they calling a foul from three, or James Harden, most notably, kicking his foot off after he shoots a three when it's not even a foul. I feel like that's gonna get rid of that stuff. But as far as the other calls that players are making it like a foul, I really don't feel like there's nothing they can do about that. But the clear and obvious stuff, that's gonna be perfect because we can get rid of that out the game. So,
and I also feel that it's gonna cause more replays when you're trying to not call stuff like that. A ref sees it and they're like, okay, it kind of looked like a foul. Let me call it a foul. Then they throw the replay and they want to go look at it. And also, what was I about to say? Even with the way people are shooting nowadays, like they're not even like putting effort into a shot. I do agree with that point. It's more or less like people are just looking for fouls, and I have seen a lot of games where where players will try that, and refs will just look at them, and then they end up airballing the shot because it's just like I feel like if we see more of that, I don't know if the rule was to make it an offensive foul or just like stop calling it in general. But I think if they just stop calling it and players are just throwing that weird shot up and you airball it, coach is gonna pull you out the game. You're gonna be sitting on the bench. So I feel like rather than calling more fouls or creating an offensive foul, I don't know exactly what the rule is changing, if they're making it offensive foul or not. But if they're allowing it to be like, okay, we're not gonna call it. We seen you trying to get the foul, like flops. We seen you trying to get the foul. We're not going to call it. You're just going to look goofy. You threw up a 40-foot shot that you didn't have no intent of shooting just for a foul, the sake of a foul. So I think if they start doing that, I think that'll be a good benefit for the league.
Facts. I do got one more thing to say about that is that I feel like another thing is like the fuck was I finna say? Damn, I totally just forgot what I was about to say. And well, also actually was another thing I was about to say was the towers, like when people shoot or they pump fake and then the defender goes flying on them and then the shooter actually goes up to shoot and then the defender's legs is under them, you know what I'm saying? So like when they come down, you don't try to like roll their ankle. I feel like honestly, I don't know really too much if they looked into that or anything, but players, I feel like that shit's annoying too when they pump fake and then defender goes flying. And then I feel for me personally, that shit's annoying. But yeah, that shit just slows down the game like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like it just gives us one less thing to worry about, and it gives the refs one less thing to worry about as well, because they're not gonna have to deal with people complaining about, oh, this was a missed call, they did this or they did that. But like I said, some players they're just good at manipulating their reps. Like James Harden, Trae Young, just to name a few. They're really good at it. So I really don't think there's nothing the NBA can do about that. But the clear and obvious stuff, I feel like they can get that out the game, and it'll make the game hopefully much smoother. So I'm looking forward to that. But next up, how do y'all feel about CP3 and Kawhi coming back to this series, and what do you think their impact would be if they came back? Like CP's coming back game 3. We're still not sure about Kawhi, but if they were to come back, how do y'all feel their impact would be, and how long do you think that their teams can stay afloat without them?
I think CP. First, I will start off with CP. I think CP's impact is going to be huge because I'm looking at the interviews, watching the interviews after the game. Like players like Ayton and C-Payne, a lot of these young guys, like they look up to him like a big brother. Like they're like, yeah, CP would be hype. Like they're talking about CP like that's really their guy. And I think having a player like that people, you got your teammates talking so highly of you on camera. The team chemistry is obviously great. I think that's going to be a big boost for them. Getting him back. You seen in C-Payne's interview, he was talking about I'm just holding it down until CP3 get back. I feel like for a team like that, where C-Payne obviously knows his role is to come in after him. CP's the starter. I'm playing for him. I'm stepping in while he's out. I feel like when you have a team like that and everybody knows the role, nobody's head is too big. No one's, I need to be the star player. I feel like when you got a team like that and a guy like that is coming back, I feel like it ain't nothing but good. And as for Kawhi Leonard, I think if he comes back, I think it's going to be a great series. But honestly, I just rather if he's really got some type of severe injury, I'd rather see him sit out just from a player standpoint because I'm a Clay fan. I feel like I didn't even get to see him play, but I'd rather not see a player go through something like that because whether they got some imbalance or they're trying to compensate for their knee hurting in game and they end up injuring something else. So I feel like if he's really not injured, I say, hey, come hoop, because I feel like that's a big boost for the Clippers as a whole. Because we seen what Kawhi was on. Kawhi went, hey, bro went, but he blacked out in the fourth quarter and was not missing any shots. So if he comes back, it's gonna scream trouble in paradise. But I still believe the Clippers got a great shot without him. But yeah, if he comes back, hey, watch out. This is going to be a series. It's going 7 for sure.
Thanks, bro. On the Sun side of things, man, I feel like they're in a good position right now. They're up 2-0. Without Chris Paul, Cameron Payne, like you said, has been putting in work with 9 assists and 29 points, which is just crazy, especially from him coming from like a G League player. He was playing in China and shit. So got to give our props to Cameron Payne, man. Even though I was talking my shit earlier, got to give him his props. But man, on the Suns, if I was a Suns fan, I'd have no reason not to feel optimistic. We just won 2 games at home. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do, but we're going to LA. Our perhaps maybe most valuable player on the team is coming back. You know what I'm saying? Because D-Book, he carries the load offensively, but without CP3, he's like the engine. You know what I'm saying? So they got him coming back. That's super big, being up 2-0. On the Clippers side of things, man, all I know is the Clippers, they hope that he comes back. From the fans to his teammates to, I mean, shit, the coaching staff, I know they probably want him to come back. But like you said, bro, I'd rather him just sit out the rest of the playoffs if that means that he'll be ready to go next season. Because, I mean, we made it this far already without him. I think we've done a really good job this season, in the postseason at least is what I mean. I feel like we've done a good job. We've not exceeded our expectations, but considering what we were given with Kawhi being hurt, I feel like we got farther than everyone expected. So with that being said, man, I just feel like either if CP3, when he comes back tomorrow, that's just going to give the Suns a boost. But if Kawhi can come back game 4 and say we're down 3-0, I don't see us coming back, even if Kawhi does come back. But like you said, man, anything can happen. Especially with these 2 teams playing, it's going to be a good series regardless if Kawhi comes back or not, because 2 of these teams have pretty good talent. They both have heart, passion. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rooting for both teams though, because I love my boy CP3, as you guys could tell.
So,
But that's my boy. But yeah, it's gonna be a good series, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, man. So to start off from the Suns' point of view on this, CP3, like you said, he's like their big brother. He's putting that battery in their back. He's putting that battery in Devin Booker's back. He's putting that battery in Cameron Payne's back, DeAndre Ayton. Then they got Monty Williams. I feel like CP3 is an extension of him on the court. So
absolutely.
I feel like they're just going to be on 10 when CP comes back for real. Just the energy around the whole Phoenix Suns organization, their fan base. It's crazy, man. You got fans over there knocking fans out, talking about Suns and
Man.
fall, man. So that's crazy. The energy is just different. But yeah, they're gonna be on 10. That's all I gotta say about that. But from the Clippers' point of view, if Kawhi comes back, that's their best player, obviously. He's Kawhi Leonard's Kawhi Leonard. There's really not too much to say about that. But if he comes back, they're just gonna have their best player back. People question if he's really the leader of the team. I'm not sure about that, but they're gonna have their best player back. So that's all I really got to say about that. I feel like the Clippers, they're obviously missing him because a player of that caliber you want to be playing during this time of year. But the Clippers are right there. There's really not too much that they can do any worse because I feel like they had a lot of bad luck going into these last 2 games and stuff just didn't go their way. But they can only go up from here. So
You're right.
I feel like with Kawhi coming back, that's just gonna give them an extra boost. But
Facts.
they can win. They can win this. They can win a couple games without him. So hopefully he can get back soon. But bro, like you said, I didn't even think about that. If he's really not feeling himself or he's still hurt, you don't want to come back and try to push that injury too much because you don't want to risk future seasons. And if you can avoid a major injury, then I would try my best to avoid it. But I'm sure Kawhi wants to play. I don't think he's just sitting out just to sit out. Obviously, he's a competitor. So, yeah.
He did just have a son recently.
Great. If he can come back, it's going to be great. But
Facts, bro.
I think the Clippers, they'll be all right.
Facts, bro. That man Kawhi just had a son recently too, bro, which is crazy.
Hey, big
And
congrats.
Shout out.
Facts, bro.
Happy Father's Day to my guy, man. He a father.
Hell yeah, bro. I mean, he ain't got no social media, so we wouldn't know. But I just seen PG said that the other day, which is cool though. That's dope.
Yes, sir.
So, segue.
Yes, sir.
You see Ben Simmons kind of melt down a little bit in this game 7
yes, did.
against the Hawks. Philly's killing them. The national media is killing them. The whole world's killing them. Social media, they're really down on Ben Simmons. But, bro, like I was telling you earlier, me and my brother, we used to watch Ben Simmons when he was younger. He was in high school when Antonio Blakeney in Florida.
Man, Antonio Blakeney.
So I was always a fan of Ben Simmons. I feel like he's just a great player. But to see what's going on in the league right now, it's kind of mind-boggling to see that he can't shoot the ball. But how do y'all feel about people just kind of killing him right now? And what do y'all feel? Do y'all feel like the 76ers should try to hang on to him and develop a jump shot per se? Or do y'all think they should just move on and let him start somewhere new?
I'm gonna start it off speaking on if they're gonna trade him. Who will want? I seen his contract today. If I'm a GM, I don't want that at all. You're gonna have to get a jump shot or something. Like the way you cannot score 5 points for me and play like 40 minutes. You cannot do that for me. Score 5 points in that span of time. I mean, the assists are cool. I like what you bring to the team as well as defensively, but for that much money, I don't think I want to trade anybody for that. But if they were to trade him, I've seen something about the Warriors wanting him, and I'm gonna go ahead talk to my boys. No, we do not want him. No, I'm cool. Like you're not. His value is not worth James. No, I'm not going to JP, J Poole, and Wiggy. No, you're not getting Wiggins. You're not getting and a pick. You're not getting all that. You can have Kelly Oubre at max. That's all you can get, bro.
Max, damn.
Like, at least Kelly can shoot the ball a little bit. But as far as his hate, I feel like it's been too long, you know. I feel like I've been saying Ben Simmons needs to get a jump shot. Ben Simmons needs to get a jump shot. And I hate to be that guy to like change a whole person's game. But bro, a midi, a free throw, you have to make those. We're in the league now. Like eventually you have to progress. You have to evolve. You have to obtain some type of skill? Are you working in the summer? I feel like I've watched enough of him. As far as him in high school, I don't know if he got to the league and got satisfied because that's what a lot of players do. But I feel like he wouldn't just be being lazy working out in the sun in the off season. But I feel like, bro, get your jump shot. I understand why Philly fans is burning your jerseys and putting schmut on it. They stepping on your jersey outside the stadium. They tired of you, bro. I feel like get a jump shot. If you're not gonna get a jump shot, you have to find other ways to score. You cannot, especially a layup. Like when he passed up that layup, you cannot be that passive. You have to score the ball, dunk the ball. Like you're not 5'11", 6 foot. Being dunk the ball, you're right under the rim. You do not need to pass it to anybody. But I feel like as far as his future goes, if I was 76ers, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's all bad after you seen Joel Embiid in the press conference, and he kind of wanted to say it like it was like the elephant in the room. Like Ben's not. If I'm gonna translate what he said, I feel like there's no other way, but he should have just said Ben not hooping. At the end of the day, Ben is not hooping.
You didn't want to say it.
You don't want to say it. Like, don't walk on eggshells. You my guy, but I understand that you don't want to break that team camaraderie up. But it's already broken up. Your teammates is watching you pass up wide open layups right under the rim, wide open dunks right under the rim. Ben, you cannot have 5 and 4 points a game. That's not going to cut it in the playoffs. So I feel like as far as the 76ers, I would try to get rid of him. I don't know who wants Ben Simmons unless he figures out how to be productive. I think he could fit well with other teams. Seen the trade with the Warriors, and I don't think he would be a bad player to come play with us, but not for that amount of. We're not trading that much for Ben Simmons. I mean, he obviously has a good IQ. He can play defense. We do need defense. That's why I said Kelly Oubre will be a good trade because Kelly's on-ball defense is tough. He can play great defense. But as far as jumpers, I feel like their jumpers are about the same. That's the equal trade. You see Kelly got a stiff little broke 3-point jumper. He can shoot the midi occasionally. But I think for Ben Simmons, I think he needs to stay off social media. That's my best bet for him. Stay off social media because they're burning you right now.
Real talk.
Man, bro. Personally, man, I like Ben. I'm not a big fan of his game per se, but he is an overall great player. He just really just needs to step up and get a jump shot, like you said, Trey. Because it's honestly kind of just getting redundant at this point. If I was a Sixers fan, I'd be devastated too, because you guys have been saying trust the process for it feels like a fucking decade now. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been hearing that shit since like 2016, 2017. Trust the process, you know what I'm saying? This shit is getting old. But man, bro, Ben Simmons, he really does have to work on a jump shot. Expect not even just the jump shot, bro. The free throw. Just please work on a free throw. Please. Like, I'm begging you, man. Just work on your free throw. And if you can get that down, bro, imagine how many extra points you would put onto your average. Like, bro, these teams are just sending you to the free throw line on purpose. And you're getting paid $180 million plus just for these dudes to foul you and go to the free throw. And what sucks about it, the worst is they can't even play them in late game situations because they know they're going to foul them instantly and that they're not going in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to take out your $180 million contract player out of the game in the most important, crucial part of the game. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of Ben Simmons not having a jump shot, the 76ers decided to give Tobias Harris a max contract too, which the way he was playing in that game 7, I don't know. I couldn't count how many missed layups he had or at least missed shots within 5 feet of the basket. But it had to have been at least more than 8 because him and Ben Simmons were stinking it up. And like you said, Trey, I kind of like what Joel Embiid said in the press conference because that alerts that the 76ers front office need to make a move. When your best player that's been this dominant says some shit like that about your supposedly second best player, that just means you have to make a move. And I don't think there's anyone better to do that than Daryl Morey as the GM of the 76ers. I feel like that was a good pickup for the 76ers at the GM position. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to know how to get the most out of Ben Simmons if they decide to trade him. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I do think they actually should try to shop for him a little bit just to see what they can get. Because obviously, after these playoffs, he's not going to be worth as much as he would have been like last year, maybe. But maybe if they can hold out till maybe around the trade deadline and see how he plays throughout the regular season, and maybe people would tend to forget about the playoffs and see how he plays in the regular season. Maybe he surprises us all next season, comes out with a jump shot, and maybe he comes out being a little bit more consistent from the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, maybe the 76ers decide to, you know what, maybe if he can keep this up in the playoffs, this jump shooting and his consistent free throw shooting, maybe we can actually run it back with this. You know what I'm saying? And if he doesn't, they could go ahead and try to see what they can trade for him, because Ben Simmons has always been a terrific regular season player, as we've all seen. You know what I'm saying? But like you said about the elephant in the room, bro, it's obviously Ben Simmons' lack of shooting. It's his lack of aggression. But another elephant in the room is Doc Rivers, man. They just got to get him out there. That's all I got to say on that. That's all I got to say, man.
Well, so there's so much that I want to say about this topic. Let me address your point about Daryl Morey. He's a risk taker, so I don't see him just sitting on Ben Simmons for too long. He's definitely going to look to make a move. As far as Ben Simmons, I don't know if there's anybody that told him, but he really just got to take it serious. Take his own career serious. Take his own potential serious. And like any walk of life, if you're not serious about something that you're doing, then you're not going to be great. So he has to get serious about it. Get serious about working, get serious about getting a jump shot, and just stop being complacent. Because that's what I see. Like, I was on Facebook and I seen a clip from 2017 where he said, I'm gonna work on my jump shot this summer. That was 4 years ago, 4 years ago. So he has to get serious. I don't know what his program is during the regular season. I know it's pretty mental with him because, like you said, he doesn't want to shoot the ball. I don't know if it's that he doesn't trust it or he didn't put the work in during the summer, that he feels confident in his jumper. He's gonna have to do something different. I heard people say he needs to switch hands. He said he might even consider that, but
yeah, he definitely needs to consider that.
He needs to get serious about working, about getting a jumper, about developing his game, because I feel like he's gonna look back 10, 20 years from now and be like, damn, I didn't take my NBA career that serious. And it's gonna be frustrating to see, because bro, you could have been one of the best players in the league, but you didn't work. And I feel like we hear that story too much about a lot of players, or he could have been this or he could have been that. But I know me personally, I wouldn't want that. I want my name associated with those type of players. So I know he's not watching this, but Ben Simmons, just take it serious. Get serious about your career, man, and stop BSing, man. You gotta work, do your thing. And then another point I want to address, you both said Joel Embiid didn't want to say it in the press conference, but I feel like once it gets to that point, it's over with. It's forever tainted. Your team's gonna feel a way about you. They're gonna feel like, when I can't rely on this guy, I can't trust him when I get out on the floor. He's scared to shoot. Well, I want to be attached to a player like this. And from what I could see during the regular season, he comes across arrogant as hell when I listen to him speak. And it's like, Ben Simmons, bro, you're really not even, I'm not gonna say he's not like that because he's a great player. I'm a fan of him, but Ben Simmons, you're not even showing up in the playoffs. So why are you even speaking like that, bro? Right. That's one thing if like LeBron or Kobe or KD talks like that, but Ben Simmons, you need to just be humble yourself and work. And I hope this embarrassment that he's feeling right now and people just clowning him right now, I hope that's fueling him to get better. I hope it is. I'm not sure. He could be at home just chilling right now, but like we talked about earlier when we were hooping, bro, I feel like OKC, a place like that where he can just get away from everybody, get away from all the cameras and all the lights. There's no expectations of getting to the finals with Joel Embiid and winning it. You don't got Doc Rivers as your head coach. I feel like he needs to go somewhere where he can just focus, just restructure his game, man. Develop a shot, develop some confidence, and there's no expectation. So I feel like that's best for him. Obviously, it's not impossible. We've seen Lonzo Ball do it.
Right.
As broke as his jumper was, when people say he came in the league, he needs to change it, he needs to do this, he needs to do that. Lonzo Ball, he went somewhere and worked during the summer. So Ben Simmons, I don't know what you need to do, bro, but you got to lock in and get serious about your NBA career. You're going to be looking back like, damn, I didn't take it serious. I didn't give him my all. And a quick comparison that I've seen, one of my favorite players to watch, Lamar Odom. they're about the same height, bro. Similar play style. But if he gets a jump shot, I feel like he could look like Lamar Odom, and that would be dope. So I'm rooting for Ben Simmons. I don't want to see him do bad, but he just got to humble himself and get serious about his NBA career, and he'll be good. He'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Next topic, we have Scottie Pippen, NBA legend, Chicago Bull legend, lockdown defender. Sometimes he gets romanticized in the 90s, but he came out and said he had a little quote about KD and LeBron. He just added fuel. He's like gasoline onto the debate that a lot of people have been having on Facebook and across the whole country. People saying that KD, he can't carry a team like LeBron, even though I really think that's irrelevant. But Scottie Pippen said he doesn't feel like he has the necessary skills or the mindset to carry a team. And I just want to know what you guys' feelings on that is.
This when I first read it, I was like, come on, Scotty. It felt like an old head, like hating a little bit. I do agree with him saying that he's not past LeBron. Like KD is a great player, like one of a kind, greatest scorer of all time. Let's just say that. 7 foot, can handle the rock, shoot. There ain't nobody else hooping like KD ever. Like not back in the league. I don't care if you tell me put him in the 90s. KD's gonna get grilly in the 90s as well. He's gonna have 40, 50 a night. That's gonna happen. Stop glorifying the past. But as far as that quote went, it kind of bothered me a little bit because it kind of felt like he was like kind of like saying KD, because I kind of read through that and watched the video. Read the whole interview and watched the video. It was kind of like he was coming across as KD didn't have the capability or hasn't, quote unquote, willed a team to victory. And my thing is like, have you not watched KD? Like, and he did a comparison to Braun. Before I get to that point, he did a comparison to Braun as far as like a whole team basketball player. I feel like that is a gift that LeBron James had, his ability to get everybody involved. I feel like that's an attribute attributed to him. That's LeBron James. He passes the ball when he's supposed to shoot the last shot. He always going to make the right play. He always gets his teammates involved, whether they need the ball in their hands or not. I feel like that's LeBron. LeBron does get criticized for that, but I feel like that's one of LeBron's personal gifts, his ability to bring a team in. I'm going to make the right play. I'm going to do this. But as far as willing a team to victory, you cannot tell me KD does not have that ability yet. Because we seen KD. KD was getting ready to end that game. All it took was this much, and KD was getting ready to finish that game. But I don't think KD is past LeBron, of course, but I do have KD. I do think KD has the ability. I don't think he has too much more learning to do as far as winning getting on a team and winning. I think he could attribute more to team ball, but as far as like getting a team to a victory, I feel like that's something KD can do. But as far as like if he wants to look at it from like a LeBron James aspect, as far as like getting everybody involved and diming the right man up, the vision, the IQ, I feel like that is something that's attributed to LeBron. So you can't kind of say KD needs to go pick up a gift like LeBron. But I think as far as winning, I think he does need to win a lot more if he wants to be on LeBron's level or get past LeBron. But I feel like KD has a lot. He's doing a lot right. So I feel like I kind of agree with Scotty, but then again, I don't.
Facts, bro. You pretty much nailed it on the head. I personally don't think KD is better than LeBron. Scott, like you said, bro, I kind of do agree with him. I kind of don't at the same time because KD is an all-time great scorer. He definitely is the all-time great scorer, if we're being honest. He can score from anywhere on the floor. He can do it at any time. 7 foot with handles, jump shot, 3-point. I mean, he's got it all. You know what I'm saying? But facts, bro. If he wants to get on LeBron's level, I mean, obviously there's two great players. I'm not trying to take away from one or the other, but I'm saying they're just in a different category, man. LeBron, he can literally do it all. You know what I'm saying? That man can go out there and facilitate. He can be the coach. He can be the assistant coach, the water boy, the
GM.
fucking the starting five, bro. He can literally do it all, bro. He just knows how to run a team. You know what I'm saying? And that's important, especially being a player, because you got to have that leadership on the court because there's only so much a coach can do. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to need that coach on the court. And that's just what I feel like KD lacks a little bit is that leadership. That's kind of why I feel like he went to the Warriors in the first place. Because if he was a leader like LeBron, I feel like he maybe would have stayed with the OKC Thunder and just, I mean, try to lead him to a championship like LeBron leads or he led the Cavs to, you know what I'm saying? Even though he did have Kyrie there. But I mean, this man KD had James Harden at one point. He had fucking Westbrook there. They even had a solid team the year KD did leave. They had like Andre Roberson on the team, who was a good defensive too, you know what I'm saying? They were just a solid squad. But I just feel like overall, man, KD just doesn't have that mentality to be able to lead a team in other aspects besides scoring. You know what I'm saying?
So, man, something I really struggle with is why can't two things be true? Why can't KD be a great player and why can't LeBron be a great player?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this statement, man, is just really, like I said, gasoline on the fire
Mm-hmm.
of an already never-ending debate that people are having across the whole world. So I don't really want to get into like, oh, KD can't do what LeBron can because they're not the same player.
Exactly.
Like you said, that's something that LeBron has. That's one of his gifts.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron's personality is like that. He wants to bring everybody in, he wants to everybody to get along, but KD's not the same person. So if we break it down from just their personalities, KD's KD. He's kind of prickly. He really don't mess with a lot of people. He just does his thing. That's kind of how I am. He does his thing. So I can't really knock him for it. But
facts. I got one more thing, bro.
I'll go ahead, man.
I personally do believe that LeBron is better overall player. But with that being said, I'm not trying to take away from any of the greatness from any of the other players. You know what I'm saying? Like KD, they're both great in their own aspects. But on top of that, people need to realize even the greatest players can't be the greatest at everything. You know what I'm saying? As great as LeBron James is, he's not the best free throw shooter. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be perfect at every aspect of the game. It just sometimes you're just born with that. You know what I'm saying? LeBron's just a natural born leader, and he has been since since before he was even in the NBA. That man was a grown man before he even got to the league, leading his high school teams and shit to successful runs and stuff. So, yeah, man, people just need to learn to stop criticizing and taking away from greatness, regardless if it's KD, LeBron, whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we see players like KD, who obviously KD he just won that one to hoop. He don't when he came with the Warriors, I felt like that was the perfect spot for him, and it still is if he wants to come back. But when he came with the Warriors, that just like collaborative effort, just everybody doing their thing. We passing the ball into, of course, the fall off in chemistry. But I feel like KD is a player who just want to hoop. He get up out of bed, possibly maybe skip brushing his teeth. But
man, and his hair. He was skipping brushing his hair too.
So.
He missed the brush. KD gonna hoop. One thing, he'll give you 50, waking up fresh out of bed. That's what I like about KD. He's all basketball. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, man. I just feel like we gotta start accepting these players for who they are, man, and stop trying to just constantly just clash. Like LeBron's my favorite player, obviously, but I'm not gonna get mad or argue somebody if they say, okay, he's the best player on the planet. Bro, he's on that level. So this is really not for me. You don't get no argument from me. I mean, it is what it is. Now, if you say like Jarrett Allen's the best player on the planet, I'm gonna argue with you. But KD, it is what it is, bro. Like, there's really no argument from me. You just gotta accept these players for who they are. Like I said, LeBron's one person. He's a social butterfly. He loves getting everybody involved. KD, he's kind of more off to the side and I just want to hoop. So I'm not gonna knock him for that. But Scottie Pippen, I'm not gonna say he has no right to speak because, like Shaq said, he got G14 classification. He's an all-star, a Hall of Famer. But I just feel like sometimes you just got to keep some stuff to yourself. Like my mom said, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
I do want to mention this. There was a period of time where Scottie did give up on his team. Let's speak on that. Mid-game, he gave up on his team. So Scottie, let's not act like
what's up with that? Oh God,
Scottie, cut it out.
Man. That's how it is, though. When you take shots at these players, bro, you leave yourself open for an attack because it's like, if I say something, people are not gonna be like, "Oh, he did this, he did that," because I'm really nobody compared to them. But Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley, Shaq, people can look back in your career and say, damn, you did this. While you're talking about LeBron or you talking about KD, you did this. So they got to be mindful of that, man. So they can't really get mad if somebody else takes a shot at them. But it is what it is. Scottie Pippen's just talking.
Talking that shit.
Man, so pandemic P, playoff P, people have been taking shots at him. People have been clowning him. He kind of got rid of that narrative for a little bit, for a couple games. And then missing them 2 free throws at the end of the game really didn't help him. People are going to go right back to the jokes and stuff like that. Do you guys feel like the hate towards PG is warranted?
I feel like some of the hate is warranted as far as him saying, like he started off the season, I'm a bust. I'm about to be on folks' ass on some. I'm on my Kobe shit. Like, bro, if you're not, you don't have to put your if you start putting that stuff out there, I feel like people are going to be like putting you under heavy scrutiny. Like if you start putting those kind of names out there, and I'm about to be on folks' ass this season, and you're not, anything you do, slightest one bad game, they're on your ass. You can't say that, but I feel like some of the hate is irrational. Like, come on now. But I feel like ever since I feel like he kind of invited that kind of energy. We obviously seen him in clutch moments or in clutch games and series, throw the donut out there. What was it? When his All-Star season, when he brought the Pacers to the playoffs. And then in 2020, was it 2017, 2018?
Yeah, them games with OKC.
Yeah. He did. He said, wait till y'all, he said something about wait till y'all see playoff P or something. I'm just like, when I saw, just like, cut it out, bro. Like when you start inviting that kind of you start giving yourself names, that's kind of what I feel the same about LeBron. When you start calling yourself the GOAT, now you're opening yourself up to say, okay, everybody put me under this glass. Look at me this way. I'm this type of guy. But I do kind of feel like a lot of Paul George's hate is irrational. Like, I feel like it's just unwarranted. Some of it is unwarranted, coming from people who really aren't tuned in like that and aren't watching PG play. Because when PG hoops, he hoops. Like, there are some games here, he the smoothest player out. Like, smooth step back, the jump shot smooth, the crossover. He's dunking on, like, playoff. He's a real good player, but I feel like he needs to get away from that P stuff. Like, leave the nicknames to the fans, bro. Don't make your own nickname. Just leave that shit alone. But I feel like it's 50-50. I'm gonna give it 75-25. 75-25. 75 is not, but 25% of it is, just because kind of the label he gave himself, but because a lot of it is irrational. So I give it 75-25.
As one of Paul George's biggest fans, man, just since the Pacers days. You know what? I do believe he kind of deserves some of that criticism. Maybe not anymore. That's kind of what I mean, because like maybe a year or two ago, that criticism was definitely deserved after what he said in the playoffs, like on playoff P. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't think it was that serious. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he was kind of saying that just to. Because, I mean, you could just see the smirk on his face after he said that in that interview, too. Like, you could tell he was just kind of messing around. But, yeah, he has, especially when he said that's a bad shot to Damian Lillard, like, stuff like that will get you pointed out on social media and stuff. Like, I feel like it's just accumulated over the years, just the shit he said. That's why he gets so much hate. But I feel over the past year and a half, or at least since the season has started, I feel like he's just been laying low, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't really been doing or saying too much. He hasn't really been posting on social media or saying no dumb shit like that, or even in press conferences where he's been known to say dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. I feel like PG's just been staying to himself this season. I feel like Kawhi might have had a lot to do with that over the offseason. He's like, listen, PG, man, if I'm going to stay here and play with you, man, you got to learn to just play the game. You just got to learn to keep your emotions to yourself. Stop getting into it with other players and stuff, because sometimes that can cost you a game, an in-game situation, having your emotions run like that, because someone's calling you pandemic P, you know what I'm saying? Because like we've seen in Utah, the Utah Jazz fans were sitting there calling him overrated while he was shooting his free throws and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I do believe some of the stuff he said over the past couple of years has gotten him to that point where he deserves that criticism. But lately, I feel like people need to chill out on it because this playoffs, he's proved everyone wrong. Because no one expected, once Kawhi went down, everyone, even including myself, was having doubt in the Clippers advancing to the Western Conference Finals without Kawhi. And you got to give it up to PG. That man stepped up big time in that series, especially those final two games. And even last night, yes, he did miss two crucial free throws, but he scored or assisted with the last 13 points within the last 2.5 minutes of the game.
Right.
And keep in mind, we were not shooting that well from the field last night. So the fact that he had or scored or assisted that many points within the final 2.5 minutes of the game just goes to show you how great of a player PG has turned into just since when he started playing with Indy. And honestly, his playmaking ability has gotten better. I just feel like PG has definitely turned that persona around from him being pandemic P or whatever, because he's shown that he can obviously carry a team to Western Conference Finals without his best player against the number one seed with the best record in the league. Keep that in mind too.
So obviously this goes for a lot of NBA players. Just on social media and just talking to a lot of people that are fans, there's a big lack of respect for NBA players and their talents. So just with that being said, I'm going to say 70% of it is unwarranted, but then we really got to get into it. 30% of what the hate PG gets is brought on by him, like you guys said. First off, he comes off to me as a person that has fake confidence, and you can tell somebody that's not really confident, but they're trying to act. So first instance, I'm gonna point back to Pat Bev and PG when they're in the bubble and Dame missed those free throws. And he's kind of on the sideline just he and just laughing with him. I'm like, PG, bro, I expect that from Pat Bev, but PG, I feel like you're kind of just trying to be cool and fit in, like that kid at school. That he's not really like that, but he's just trying to jump in on the jokes. That's what he kind of reminds me of. So it's like, PG, just be yourself. And I'm not sure, like I know he deals with a lot of stuff mentally, and everybody does. I'm not judging him for that. He's a human. We're all human, but he just comes across as somebody that's not really confident in himself. So he just has to do little stuff to work on that. So yeah, 30% of the hate is warranted. When you're taking shots at players, like you said, Dame said you're running from the grind. He has the right to say that when you're on the sideline trying to like make fun of him, make him look bad. In the playoffs, he seems like an excuse maker to me too. But I'm glad to see that he's really changing that narrative and just keeping his mouth shut, keeping his head down and grinding and getting better each and every game. So I appreciate that. Not gonna knock him for the free throws yesterday. It happens to the best of us. Going to the free throw line later in the game like that with the crowd going crazy and you're in Phoenix, it happens. We're not gonna kill him for it, but I just feel like 30% of the hate is warranted. But let's segue into this next topic. Why are people having such a hard time enjoying the playoffs without LeBron James in it? It seems like every game that happens, man, it's the Suns and the Clippers. Oh, LeBron would have did this, LeBron would have did that. Or when the series ended with KD and them, oh, KD can't carry a team like LeBron. And it just seems like they're constantly just picking at stuff and not just enjoying the playoffs. Why you guys feel like that's happening right now?
I feel like that stems a lot from LeBron James himself. LeBron James in any topic, whether it's about basketball, whether it's about me tying whether it's about somebody's son tying their shoe. Oh yeah, I remember I taught. No, bro, LeBron, chill out. Like LeBron figure out how to get his name into every conversation, whether it's about even with the conversations about like politics. LeBron, you do not know about politics. Go. I don't want to give him the narrative of shut up and dribble, but LeBron, do not hop in there like this is like your main job. Like I understand you want to advocate, do your thing, but I'm not saying shut up and dribble. But LeBron, where it's not always about you. Even when it's with other players like the Kyrie situation, we talked about. I feel like KD is a player I can pass the ball to in those moments as well. He can shoot that shot. Like let him shoot that shot. Like he's talking about his own team. He's not talking about you, LeBron. LeBron has to make himself included in every conversation, whether you sitting at the dinner table with your kids after work, after a long meal. LeBron, oh yeah, I did that too. No, LeBron, go have a seat, bro. I feel like his fans have taken on that role for him. Any conversation, we're talking about Kevin Durant, after he loses a game, after damn near dropping 50 points. LeBron played in the East as well. LeBron did no. LeBron never lost in the East. No. This is not about LeBron. We talking about KD. KD just took the L. Giannis and him is moving up. Like, this is not about LeBron. I feel like I think it's the comparison mindset. LeBron would have did this. LeBron would have did that. LeBron would have did this. Like, okay, LeBron's not in the finals. He's not in the playoffs right now. LeBron's at home watching just like you are. So let's give Bron a break. Let's let Bron watch his son Bronny hoop and AAU. That's the closest he's gonna get to a court the rest of this playoffs. So I feel like we need to cut it out with bringing LeBron in every conversation. Let these boys hoop. LeBron is not on the TV screen. Let's leave his name out of it. Devin Booker's on the floor. Kevin Durant's on the floor. Giannis Antetokounmpo's on the floor. Trae Young's on the floor. Let's talk about them. There's other players you could talk about rather than LeBron James every conversation.
Yeah, thanks, bro. I mean, shit, you pretty much nailed it on the head, man. I'm kind of usually personally, I don't really think a lot of LeBron fans like that, where if he's not in the playoffs, they just won't watch it. I just personally don't think people like that actually love the game of basketball, because if you're just watching for one specific player, then why are you watching for it? Because, I mean, this game is an art form. You know what I'm saying? You ought to love the game for what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you're just watching for one player and one player only, that's your loss, man. You're missing out on greatness from all around the league. So, yeah, bro, like you said, man, it's just weird seeing people like that too. Like, we have all this talent in the league going on right now. Like you said, we got Giannis in the playoffs. We got Trae Young, who's emerging to be one of the best players in the league, man. Like, we were all kind of sleeping on him, you know what I'm saying, in the Hawks, but he's emerging to be like a top tier point guard, like a top 5 point guard right now. And I mean, you see what D Books has been doing. You see DeAndre Ayton and stuff. Like, you guys should just be enjoying the playoff basketball we got right now for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because we're witnessing history right now, regardless of all the injuries. We're still witnessing hard-fought basketball games. You know what I'm saying? Like, just last night, it came down to one shot, 1 point. That's good. Like, those are the type of games you live to watch. You know what I'm saying? Those are the games you want to watch. You don't want to watch LeBron beating some shitty ass team in the middle of the season by like 35 points. You know what I'm saying? The only people that want to see that are LeBron fans. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only players that would tune into that shit. But or the only fans. But like I said, bro, a lot of LeBron fans just have to learn to appreciate greatness. I know they hate KD because they're the top two, and that's just how media is. That's just how social media is. They just try to create two sides and make them go at each other. And it's kind of annoying after a while. Like, sometimes, yeah, we like to have debates and stuff, but also at the end of the day, we just got to appreciate greatness. We got to respect both sides, and we just got to move on.
Facts.
Man, so let me jump in there. First off, like you said, LeBron, that's my favorite player. I love him. I take place in some friendly trolling on Facebook and on social media. I like to mess with people, but like I said earlier, why can't two things be true? I'm not gonna slight this player, slight that player. Like you said, we have talent all over the league. Why are we not enjoying it, bro? Why are we constantly just going at each other like this? It's funny, but after a while, bro, it's kind of silly. I'm gonna be real with you. It's like, bro, we've been on here arguing for 100 comments. It's been 100 comments of people just saying, "Oh no, this player's better," or "This player's better." And most of the time, you're not even arguing with facts. You're arguing with opinions, and you're getting emotional. So as soon as you get emotional, the argument's over for me. If you want to just discuss, we can discuss, but I'm not gonna just sit there and just, KD's better. No, LeBron's better. KD's better. LeBron's better. We're not gonna do that for 100 comments, bro. I got better stuff to do in my time.
Facts.
But like you said, bro, LeBron does play a part in that. Like, I feel like he really toys with the media, and maybe that's just part of his personality, bro. Like, he just loves being in the middle of stuff. I don't know, but I love LeBron. Man, that's my favorite player. But after a while, it just gets old. I mean, LeBron's not in the playoffs, so why are we worried about what he's doing right now, or him not being better than KD or this player? Like, it is what it is, bro. He lost in 6 to the Suns. It is what it is. We at home resting. We coming back for next year. Let's move on. It is what it is, and LeBron's not going to be in the league forever. So if that's your only reason for watching basketball, then you're really not a fan. So it is what it is.
Hey, man, you're the most respectable LeBron fan out. Okay.
Hey, I pride myself on that, man. I try to be unbiased. I try to be. And, bro, let me get into this real quick. after that tragedy happened with Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. Kobe, and
Mhm.
everybody on that plane. But I'm not doing that no more, bro. I'm not finna not appreciate another player just because the media is putting two fan bases against each other. Like Kobe and LeBron were supposed to be mortal enemies, but when you look at it, they were really friends. They really mess with each other. They really rock with each other, and they respected each other's games. So why am I gonna sit here and just hate KD? That's dumb. KD is a unicorn, but he's one of one. He's one of the great. Actually, he is the greatest scorer ever. One of the best players ever. I'm gonna appreciate his game too. So I really don't care. I'm not gonna let the media think for me or tell me what to think about this player. I have my own thoughts. I have my own two eyes, bro. I'm watching these players and they're great. So yeah, man. Just to close that topic out, appreciate, bro. Just appreciate greatness. And LeBron fans, I'm a LeBron fan as well. Coming from one of the biggest LeBron fans on this planet, enjoy the playoffs. We got the Final Four, the Bucks, the Hawks. We got the Clippers, the Suns, all playing great basketball. The game's on right now, and it's like 67 or something like that. It's crazy, great basketball. The Hawks aren't even supposed to be here. So any of these four teams that win, I'm gonna be happy and excited for them. They all got great players. There's hella great players in this playoff. So let's just enjoy it. Let's watch the coaches go back and forth. Let's watch their chess matches. Let's watch these players compete, and let's just enjoy playoff basketball. From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Sure. Facts. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, LeBron.
Last but not least, we got to get into this, man. They caught my boy Alex Caruso driving down the highway.
Free that man.
With the low eyes, like this.
With the gas on deck.
They caught him with the pack on him.
With that country.
Free that man.
As I was watching the game yesterday, I seen like Alex Caruso names start trending. I'm like, damn, what is they talking about? I clicked on it and I seen his mugshot. I said, whoa.
Free Alex Caruso.
Man. But hey, I will tell you this. LeBron is on the way. That little 35,000 is not nothing to him. He gonna get you out, Caruso.
Hold on, it was 35,000?
Yeah, I think it was more.
Bro, how much did he have? He must have had a couple P's or something. Because goddamn, bro, was he in like a fucking Tahoe or something? What the fuck?
Hey, free Alex, man. Free Caruso.
Yeah, for real. Free that man.
LeBron, hey, Caruso, if you're watching this right now, LeBron's on the way. He got that big bag on him.
He coming. Don't worry, man.
And Caruso, you're going to have to hear the story about when LeBron James visited a jail cell because his son got caught smoking. I'm sorry. Man, he gonna find a way to relate himself to this. He's not just gonna help you. He gotta let you know his story.
Man,
LeBron is on the way, man. He on the way. But
man, that's weird.
Hey, free Caruso, man.
Facts, free that man. That's ridiculous.
Hey, he was trying to get his mind right, man. He got eliminated first round. He said,
I don't blame him.
Good.
I do not blame him.
Too much. He wasn't hooping like that, but
he trying to free his mind. He trying to get ready for next season, man. We're not gonna harp on it too much, man. He doing his thing. Free Caruso, man. That's all I gotta say.
Really?
Hey, Bron's on the way.
Facts.
Yeah, this is the end of our podcast. I appreciate y'all tapping in. If you made it this far, drop a like, man. Show us some love. Tell us how you feel about the episode. Let us know what your favorite topic was. If you got anything you want to see us talk about, hit us up. Hit my boy Jeremy, Clip City up, and my brother Trey up. Hit me up. Hit us up and let us know, man. We'll be happy to talk about it. Happy to give y'all a shout out, mention y'all names, whatever you do. But yeah, thanks for tapping in. We appreciate all the support, and we look forward to just growing and getting better each and every episode. So continue to support and show us love, man. We appreciate it.
Sir, out.
Peace.